Staying in the northwest, but moving to a developing story now, the Stilfontein illegal mining standoff is continuing into 2025. The Mining Affected Communities United in Action has now approached the Constitutional Court, this time to force government to save the lives of those still underground in the northwest town. The group's application follows last month's ruling by the Pretoria High Court, which dismissed MACUA's request. The body's national administrator, Sabelo Manguni, is joining us now for the latest. Mr. Manguni, thank you for being on the program this evening. So MACUA has been very active in advocating for the rights of illegal miners in Stilfontein. Tell us about some of the key goals you're hoping to achieve with this constitutional court bid.
No, good evening to you and good evening to the viewers at home. Yes, as much as we acknowledge the illegal activities that are happening in Stilfontein, but rather the fault should be noted that the environment is created by commercial mines in terms of them leaving derelict mines and unrehabilitated land general. So in terms of what we hope to achieve, the constitution is clear, and the government holds carries rather the mandate to ensure that the right to life is observed, number one, to everyone who's in South Africa, regardless of nationality or criminal activities or whatever status one is holding in terms of the legislation in the country. But when we look at what is happening in Stilfontein, at this moment, it's beyond dealing with illegal mining. It created an organic problem, which is a humanitarian crisis, where now we see a group of artisanal miners, some may say, trapped in a situation where where they are at this moment in time, it's highly impossible for them to resurface on their own. When the operation was conducted, it is the operation that contributed to the creation of this situation. So therefore, it is the responsibility of the state to ensure that those who are trapped in this situation, they are saved, and then they face the matter of the law as they continue to ensure that they enforce rather to ensure that there is a safety in the society and dealing with illegal mining. Also holding mining companies to account, because this situation was created by a mining company. It was not a situation that is occurred out of the blue. The shaft were left derelict. The community, because of poverty, find themselves going back to the same activity they were doing well while the mine was still operational. So in this instance, the state holds the responsibility to save the trapped miners at the moment. That is the crust of the matter. Other elements will be secondary. They are secondary at this moment in time, because now we are talking about the lives of people rather than talking about the lives of artisanal miners. Their economic status at this moment in time is rather secondary vis-a-vis them losing their life. It's because of Operation Valamputi that denied basic needs such as food and water and so on.
Mr. Manguni, so as we continue to really understand or grapple with what's happening underground, are you at any point able to give us a sense of the condition of some of the miners who are still underground, these illegal miners or zamazamas?
Okay. First, we communicate through letters. That's the only at this moment in time as the community rescue operation via the letters. So as per the letter that we received, which we last communicated on the 24th of December, it gave us a picture of what is happening, where people are so desperate to leave the shaft to come to surface. They are even attempting to lose a shaft 10, which is dangerous. The letter states that many have tried, but they've fallen. So even those who were able to make the journey up from shaft 10, going resurfacing, they are testifying that many have they left shaft 11, 20 of them, but only 5 have surfaced. So they are losing their life. So in terms of health status, there were requests of medication, but not enough medication was sent underground. So therefore, those who we will, according to the letters, again, they are slated to be critically, they're in a critical conditions. Basically, there's no food also that has been sent in the past 8 days. So we can estimate that currently, as we speak today on the 1st of January 2025, the situation is worse than that, than what when we last communicated on the 24th, which also the letter indicated that they were sitting with 9 bodies. So one can also estimate that there are more bodies now vis-a-vis from our last conversation. So we believe the content that we receive via the letters, as so far as we have been operating since on the 14th of November.
Mr. Manguni, the situation in Stilfontein is not just economic, it's also a social and environmental as well. How has this crisis impacted local communities in terms of health, safety, and even their livelihoods in this area?
No, thank you. So if one follows the history of Kuma as a community, there was once a period where crime was very high in the community. Once many people started participating in the artisanal mining in the Zamazama space, crime reduced in a drastic manner, to an extent that if one can come now today to Kuma, it's a drug-free community. It's one of the communities that it's my first time meeting a community where Nyaupe is not a problem. So what I'm trying to bring about is that participating in the Zamazama space has lifted the community to an extent that it was able to deal with other problems that some communities they can't deal with, such as crime, such as drugs.
This is an illegal scheme, and with this push to formalize small-scale mining, what steps do you believe can be taken to create a legal framework that helps small miners transition from informal to formal operations?
The DMRE has started the operation. We had a pilot project in Kimberley, where Zamazamas were able to attain a permit to work formal. So currently the challenge is the state is dragging its feet in terms of formalizing. It only developed a policy. There are measures, there are steps taken, there are proposals that are made by many organizations, including us as MACUA. We've been making proposals to the MRE as to what processes can we follow. These are the proposals. There are legislative proposals that are in the table of the MRE as we speak. So we're waiting for that process to start. That will inform as to what needs to happen. But generally, in simple, the sector can be formalized. It has been formalized before. We just need to continue from there. Because remember, commercial mines, they leave the shaft or they leave operations because they can't continue based on how it's no longer making profit for them. But for the artisanal space, it is profitable. It can create jobs. If we follow the report of Stilfontein, at the first report, it talked about 4,000 Zamazamas. So imagine when the sector is formalized, how many jobs that can multiply out of those 4,000. So the system, it is there. It's only the state coming to part in also fast-tracking the process of formalizing the sector, because there are proposals on the table of the state at the moment.
Mr. Manguni,
the only thing is legislation.
We have run out of time, but maybe quickly remind us of some of the legal arguments you will be presenting in the Constitutional Court, if possible, in under a minute.
One, we want the court to order the state to send food, pay in humanitarian aid, and also to assist with the resources that will assist the rope. Because one, with that, with the rope system, we are waiting for the provisional rescue operation. The provisional rescue operation needs to commence as quickly as possible, because the state has been promising for 8 weeks now. It's almost 2 months now that they've been promising. So what we are going to plead with the court is to order the state to take their responsibility as the constitutional mandate in terms of saving life through sending humanitarian aid. Secondly, retrieving people as they promised it, but in the form of bringing a professional rescue operation.
Thank you so much, Sabelo, sharing your valuable insights on this critical issue. Of course, referring to the latest court bid to help miners resurface. This is in Stilfontein at a disused mine shaft.